Hi everybody, welcome back to Arma Reforger, and you may well be wondering, why am I running around with a grenade in my hand? Well, it's because I wanted to do a little beginner's guide tutorial about throwing grenades through windows in buildings, but from the inside out. So let's say you've got into a situation where you've got into an enemy base, and you're trying to capture it, but maybe imagine there's a load of soldiers over by the HQ over there, and you're thinking, I don't want to just open up with my machine gun, because I'm probably going to miss a few of them, and they're all going to respond and return fire, and I'm going to be dead. But if I throw a grenade first, maybe that will take a few of them out and I'll have a fighting chance. But what can happen an awful lot is the grenade can bounce back off the window frame. So I'm going to show you my technique for kind of making sure this doesn't happen most of the time. Now, the first thing you have to realise is, some of the time, the grenade will bounce back. There's nothing you can do about it. It just will. It'll hit the middle bit, or it'll hit the frame, and it'll come bounce back. So always be ready, when you're going to do this, to run out of the building you're in and leg it, because obviously the enemies will know where you are. Also, it's best if you can find a room where there's kind of nothing in front of the window. But let's use this example here. So we'll do it in first person first. So what we want to do is we want to throw a grenade towards where that HQ is. Let's imagine there's an armory there and people are hanging around, getting their kit out and things. How do we make sure? Well, what you want to do is, if you press the left trigger to kind of aim down sights, if you like, when you've got the grenade in your hand. So you've got the grenade, aim down sights. Now the grenade will go roughly in the middle of the screen. Alright, so if I put that sandbag roughly in the middle of the screen there, now if I right click, pull the pin, if I get that sandbag roughly in the middle and then release, you see how it kind of roughly went in the middle of the screen, didn't it? Now, because there's no crosshairs in Arma Reforger, this can be a little bit tricky, so you do have to be quite careful. So let's do one this way. So let's see if we can see where the lamppost is. So if we aim down sight and try and put the lamppost roughly in the middle of the screen. Now we've got to be careful because we're standing on the bed and we don't want to be too high. So roughly in the middle of the screen, pull back, and then let's put that roughly, release, and there we go, and it goes through the window. That's going to blow up. There we go. Very, very good. Now the further you are back from the window, the harder this becomes, because your target of getting it through that window is very, very difficult. Conversely, the closer you are to the window, the easier this is. So if we get right up against the window, we can pull, we can release, and generally, most of the time, it will go through. Now, if you line up, if we go into third person, with your hand in front of the window frame like that, and then I'll try and throw it through. See, sometimes it will go through, sometimes it will catch. Similarly, if you do it like this, that went back into the room, didn't it? Right, so let's do that. So think about the fact that you're aiming for the center of the window. So we're going to press our left trigger, pull the right trigger, roughly put where you want it. So what we're going to do now is we're aiming for that patch of grass in the right hand window, and it goes through. And then bang. Now remember, the longer you hold down the right trigger after you've pulled the pin, the further your chap will try to throw it. But if you want the foolproof way, the way that always works, I would say get right up to the window. Now, what this might mean is that if there's some soldiers out there and you're standing right by the window, they're going to see you, aren't they? But what you're probably going to do is set up outside of the room. So come out the room, make sure the door's open so you can run out if this doesn't go right. Pull the pin outside, then run into the room, look through the window, release. Did that come back in the room? Oh no, it went outside. And that way you'll generally do it. So let's do another example over here. So let's say we wanted to throw it out here, like into that gap there, because we're defending it. We know people are there. So we don't want to silhouette ourselves outside of the window. So we're just going to pull the pin, run in, look through the window, release. There it goes, into the bushes. Get back out of the way, and there it goes off like that. And generally that will work. The most foolproof way I've found is to get close to the window like that and then throw it in, and generally it will always go through. Now, what I recommend you do is go into Game Master mode and then spawn in an arsenal, and then spawn in your player and just put a backpack on and just pick up lots of grenades. Because the art of throwing grenades in through windows is just all about practice. Because again, it's all about realising that, so we aim with our left trigger, then we press our right trigger to pull and we hold, that this grenade is going to go roughly in the middle of the screen. Again, there's no crosshair, so this makes it difficult. So if I put that window roughly in the middle and then release, and that went in. Boom. And if you just practice this, roughly in the middle, and of course the old thing about if you go right up to the window, it's going to go in, no problem. And the further away you are from the window, the harder it becomes to get it in. Let's back off. There we go. So that all comes down to practice, and always be very ready. Oop. See if we can get one to go in to finish off with. There we go. Always be ready to run away and get out your machine gun, because people are going to be aware of you once you've thrown them. So there we go. So the rule of thumb, the closer you are to the window, the more likely the grenade is to go through the window. And trust me, I've killed myself lots of times learning this in real life, well, not in real life, but when I've been playing games, I've got a bit excited, and I've thought the classic thing that happens to me, and it's happened right here, is that I was in this room, sort of down here, thinking, oh yeah, I can hear them, and then I kind of crept out of the room here, and then tried to throw a grenade through. I closed the door as well, and then I tried to throw a grenade through the window there, and it bounced back, and I couldn't get through the door, and then it killed me, and they must have all been laughing their heads off when they came and found my dead body. So hopefully you found this useful. Practice makes perfect. If you found the video useful, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. And of course, I'll see you again soon.